You ready?
Because the table's full.
Okay, we're gonna call to order. Welcome back, Bob.
Thank you.
We're glad you're here.
And by the way, thank you all for the kind cards and best wishes. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Beckwith,
Here.
Caldwell,
Here.
Deal,
Here.
Farkapisi. Here. Katsinis,
Here.
Nimi. Here. Sheldon.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Good. You wanna do the honors, Bob?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Warren Newport Public Library District provides the community with access to information, kindles the imagination of children and adults, and supports lifelong learning. Anything in safety, Glenn?
Safety instructions.
Stick in safety?
Oh, Will was just here a second ago.
Well,
That's all right.
let's press on.
Yeah.
Consent. Anybody want to remove anything?
Excuse me, is there a motion to skip that part of the agenda?
Would you like to make one?
Sure.
Okay.
I move that we skip Article 4, and that, I take that back. I move that we omit Article 4 this evening.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay. Anyone want to take anything off the consent agenda?
I'd like to remove A1,
A1.
the regular meeting report.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone want to make a motion on the consent then?
I move we accept the consent agenda with the exception of A1.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Abstain.
I gotta abstain.
Yes, you do. Thank you, Bob.
There's gonna be a lot of it tonight.
Okay, I just want to point out, though, if you're abstaining because of the minutes, Tom just removed those. So you want to abstain because of other things too, since you weren't there for policy and so on?
That's,
Okay,
yeah.
just want to clarify.
That's cool.
Okay. Okay, how about the minutes then?
Just like to have a roll call.
I'm sorry?
So I'd just like to have a roll call on that.
I move that we accept the minutes of the regular meeting of March 16th, 2017.
I'll second.
Discussion? Let's have a roll call.
Katsinis.
Aye.
Nimi. Aye. Farkapisi.
Aye.
Deal,
Abstain.
Caldwell,
Abstain.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, President's report is page 17, and I also want to say that since I submitted this, I did attend the Cut the Cable program. Does anyone, I know it's been offered before, anyone else go to it? It's really a great program, if you have any interest. It was really interesting. So, and Rachel, right? She did a great job.
I think it was Jessica Stucker, I believe. Was it Rachel Murray?
I'm confused.
I know Jessica Stucker did one before, maybe Rachel did the
She's-
latest one.
I believe that's, she said that they had done it together before.
Okay.
Somebody couldn't come, so. How about someone else? Anyone else have a report?
I have a question. You made a quilt for the bingo in the books?
Yes.
I'm putting all my lottery tickets in one place.
That's nice of you.
It is awesome.
How did you know that?
It was in your president's report.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Anyone else?
Yes. Saturday, April 8th, the library held a program ready for some scientific experiments, which was actually really cool. Both of my older two children went to it, two separate sessions based on their grade level, and they enjoyed it very much.
Cool. Anyone else? Okay, is there any correspondence? Oh, wow. Oh. Is this for the treats?
It is.
Wow! Thank you for the all-star treatment on National Library Workers' Day from the staff. I'll pass that around.
How much do we owe you for those?
I sent an email, I can't remember what I said it was. Except I was thinking Bob wasn't gonna be here, so we need to recalculate the math, because if Bob's here,
If he's
we
okay
paid for
with it.
treats for the staff.
Tell me how much.
Well, 72
Up
would be
tenths.
just,
10, yeah. Okay,
Whatever,
all right.
yeah.
Is that it for correspondence? Okay.
That's it.
Anyone want to make a public comment? Okay, executive director report.
Just to echo, you can see the appreciation that it was a big hit, so well done. Staff is very appreciative of that, so thank
It
you.
was all Sue's idea, the theme and everything. It was really, she had a million great ideas. So.
And if people didn't know what flips were before, they sure do now.
I didn't know, I had no idea, so I thought that was really, she had a lot of really cute ideas. I'm gonna keep that for later.
If this isn't in, and it's not in the director's report, so let me explain what this trophy is. If you want to, we can pass it around if you want to take a closer look. So I think it was Diana Sills that came up with this idea, although it could have been the entire youth services department. So
Should this go too?
was it Diana Sills' idea to do the
They were
competition?
gonna do the other, do you have the other one now too?
Yeah. So that,
They started with
that's,
that.
I,
So the idea is
Told
that
us you could
each
say that.
school, whether between basically like, I guess it's essentially first grade through eighth grade, will have this competition for this trophy. So the highest percentage of students that actively participate in summer reading can win the trophy. So it's a way to encourage people to participate. I've talked to the superintendents about it. And they're very excited, so I think it's going to really incentivize educators to get, to spread the message in their school that kids should participate in summer reading,
So will it be a traveling trophy from?
It will be a traveling trophy. This will stay permanently here at the library, and each year we'll add the winning school, and then this will travel year to year. So,
And can I add something? Ryan?
Please.
We were having a lot of difficulty. We realized it would be very neat for them to have something up on the wall here. But if you know anything about the ribbon contest at Gurney Days, they have a giant pig trophy that travels. And so we decided that's what excites people when we run it. So we went to different places. Nancy Stricker was working and Diana were working to come up with the right trophy, whether it was a book or whatever. And they didn't like what they were seeing. And so we have to give so much credit to Nancy Stricker. She actually donated that. She had it made, she worked with a company, and she did the books on it. Nancy Stricker's in our graphics department, and she did this beautiful job, and we couldn't be more pleased. It's so unique, it's gorgeous, and she had the contact at the trophy place, and she donated the whole thing and paid for it herself.
Very nice. Will we have some sort of visual in the library to see, I don't know, I'm sure you're much better at this, like containers with colored marbles or something to show how the competition of the schools are going?
that's a good question. I don't know that we worked that out yet. I think I'm sure
I think
youth
that
services
they're
is.
gonna have something, but I'm not sure exactly what they will have.
Is Jane gonna bring that around to the school?
I believe she is, and we've got a poster of it, and she's got a poster, or that she's taken, yeah.
So yeah, between Jane going to the schools and me pressuring the superintendents to encourage their principals to push this, I think we'll have.
They're excited.
They're excited. They want to win. They want to win it. In addition to the private schools too, and it's not just public schools. So,
How many schools are participating? 4?
well, we're not sure yet. I mean, I think they all want to
How many
participate.
are being offered to participate?
Anybody who's in the district.
Yeah, any school in the district.
I'm just wondering how many that
Letters
is.
go- I think a letter's going out to, you know, so if it's a, but and it's based on percentage. obviously, you have a small school versus a large school percentage, and it's of the finishers, not the people who signed up, the people who finished.
Right, so it's, yeah, not, even if you had a 100% sign-up rate, if no one participates in summer reading and finishes, then it doesn't count, so.
Anything else?
That was the only non-things.
Any questions for Ryan on his director's report? Comments? Okay. Committee reports, 29 through 31. Questions, comments? Very good. Okay. So next is anyone have any questions about these? Maybe we should put a motion on them, see if we have questions. Because these minutes coming late and with the corrections, every time I look at them, I feel like I make a mistake in the date or the correction. So can we have a motion on the January minutes, please?
I move that we accept the January minutes as presented.
I'll second that. Any discussion or questions on the January minutes? The cover memo was pretty self-explanatory, I thought, but just if you have any other questions. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain.
All right.
Two abstain. Okay, moving on to the minutes for the February 21st meeting. Can we have a motion for that?
I move that we accept the February 21st minutes as presented.
I'll second that. Discussion on those? All those in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. One abstention, Bob.
One abstention,
Mhm. Okay, fundraising.
Okay, so if you recall, looking at the timeline for where we should be this year in terms of the Development Council, we should have had our first meeting already. We should have recruited all the members at our first meeting. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. As some of you already know, we haven't had a lot of luck at recruiting members for this committee. For example, we have a list of people we've approached. There's no one from the ad hoc committee that would be staying. We'd hope we would at least get a couple of those individuals. Those are really busy people, though, maybe people that are overcommitted. But those are the kinds of people that we would really like to serve on the committee. So, at this point, this is something I've discussed with both Diana and Joe. Diana Vickery. We are the recruitment committee, right? So, we're kind of going to step 2, which is really asking some of these individuals that have said no to help us connect to other people. So I have some other leads. So we're reaching out to those leads. Diana Vickery has a contact in Texas that's in fundraising, so we thought, well, maybe she could participate on the committee by telecommuting in. Many of you know, I think my wife is in fundraising. She's works in the development office at Brookfield Zoo, so she's agreed to be an advisor of sorts. She won't be able to attend the meetings really, but she can help out as well. She's agreed to do that. So we do have some people that can help, but we really don't have other than Diana, Joe, and myself, we don't really have this committee like that we want, that we think we need for this to be successful. I've also reached out to Stu Wilson, who was the consultant from Library Strategies that was here to get his feedback on this and discuss the challenges we've had recruiting people. And like I said, I've been talking to contacts to see if there's anyone that can connect me with. And one of the other strategies we're doing that my wife suggested we try is to go through the Association of Fundraising Professionals Chicago chapter member book and look for individuals that are in the library district and reach out to them and see if they either want to participate or if they want to, or if they can connect us to people in the area they know that would want to serve on the committee. So that's where it stands. It's disappointing. We knew it wouldn't be easy, but I thought we'd be a little further along at this point, to be honest with you. So I'd love to hear your feedback, comments, suggestions, if you have any.
I know it's not easy, but I know it is possible. It's not My daughter's boyfriend's a construction engineer, and he's the one in charge of the project at the Chicago Public Library Children's
Oh,
Division.
wow.
It's gone from a $2 million project to a $2.4 million project, entirely donated from one company.
Well, and that's what I thought. We have so many big corporations around here that, and I don't know the way, but there has to be a way, either through their human resources or something, that there's some people that would really like to serve on that committee just because they want to do some public service, because that looks good on their resume. So I don't know who you would contact. Maybe that book that your wife suggested has some contacts in it.
Yeah.
But I think the big bucks are with the corporations. It's not going to be with us.
I think with some
We
of,
have some huge
well, some of these larger
corporations.
corporations, it's an expectation
Yeah.
of the,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
these senior executives to
Serve on.
serve
some
on boards or
committees.
something like
Actually,
that, so.
I believe it's a law that banks have to make donations to their local communities. Because my aunt used to have that job, giving away the money. I mean, they have to have a certain level of loans in their community, and at least that was the state of Arizona. I mean, I know everywhere banks have to loan money in the areas that they do business. In Arizona, they also had to give, Arizona and Texas, because she had the same job in Texas. So I don't know if it's a federal law or a local law, but banks do have to make investments in their communities.
So we're talking two things here, aren't we? We're talking about people that are willing to serve on this committee, and then the donations itself, so.
I mean, I forget, we had a spreadsheet of people at the beginning, but when the three of us met, and we went through the spreadsheet, Diana knew zillions of these people. And I think we came up with a dozen or 15 names. I mean, it seemed like more than enough to just get a few people to get us started, and then the idea, what we thought was that those people would know other people who
Right.
would then come on too. And it just didn't work out that way, so.
Yeah, it seems that it was easier to get people to agree to do the ad hoc committee because they knew there was an end. We said 1 to 2 meetings, and even though it's only 4 meetings a year, that's maybe an obstacle. And then the other thing is the environment that we're in. Not that it's impossible, this isn't an excuse, but this is reality. It's tough because there are a lot of these smaller nonprofits that maybe used to get money from the state that are no longer getting money. So it seems like there are more and more people that are getting into fundraising, so there's more competition too. So it's not the best environment for this right now, but doesn't mean we shouldn't try, obviously.
I would think that, you know, obviously the easy targets are the Abbotts and the Adbees and the Baxters and people like that. I would think you would just start out with just the webpage where they have public relations contact us type of thing. And I almost guarantee you that there's somebody responsible within corporations like that for, in charge of public relations or community activism and so forth.
Or also maybe identify projects that a company may wish to have their name attached to. If we did a landscaping project, there were landscaping companies, large
Right.
ones, and they might like their name out front.
Well, we're
Of
really
course.
talking about two different things.
Well, you get the
Step one is
people,
get the people involved.
you get the people, you find out what you want, what companies you're targeting, and then you try and find out how to get to those people, meaning those people that you want to serve on this committee have some sort of relationship with the people you're really after.
But we have to have that before we start talking about projects and what fundraising we're going to do. We're starting at the very beginning. The whole point of this is to build an organization that will liaise with us with these various organizations, with community groups and so on and so forth, to provide ideas, to provide representation. So it's not us, the library board, asking for money.
Like, we want people with contacts.
Exactly.
Is it, and I don't, off my head, could you have like some kind of application for like the corporations and have a contact there, whether it's HR, public relations, or whatever, and like somebody would fill out an application and you could, three of you could screen them? Because I'm thinking if you just said, oh, do you have anybody that wants to do this?
Yeah, right.
There's a difference if you commit to your name on paper, and I don't know, ask our fundraising speaker person.
Yeah,
that
but the
would be-
vetting process,
I don't know if that's
right.
the way you go about it, but I'm thinking.
No, you're right. You don't want to just blindly accept someone from, just because they work for Abbott or AbbVie.
Well, and also, I think, what, maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, correct me, but it's one thing to get a person who feels it's a job obligation, who's gonna say, yeah, I'll do it and check it off the list. It's another person who's gonna be committed to following through. And I think what she might be saying partly is that if a person really is serious about following through, then the application might be, identify them as somebody more serious, who's
Yeah.
likely to do what they say they're
And
gonna
I'm
do.
just thinking maybe they can send out an email to their upper management. I mean, just,
Mhm.
I don't know how that works. I would think in this day and age,
See, I'm not
They're
sure
out
we're
there.
going at
I
this
don't
from the
know.
right direction.
and I don't know if you do
The
that.
the key is to find people, not find companies, not find opportunities. We need to find those people of influence in our community and see who those more influential members of our community would recommend, then reach out to them directly. This should be us asking people, not us putting a call out for applications.
But I think
Well,
we
that's what
tried
we've already
that,
done.
and
Maybe we
there's-
didn't
we're
describe it
Yeah.
right,
hit
but
the
the people
wall.
who came to that fundraising meeting were influential people in fundraising, and they gave us this spreadsheet of names. They came from those people, and then
And we're running
none
out
of
of
them are
people to
panning out,
contact.
yeah.
Right. Well, and there's still we still have some leads that we're working on, but as of right now, they haven't. I mean, I'm confident hopefully we'll get some of these leads to work out. But George, I have a question for you, because you did, if memory serves, you did work for Abbott or AbbVie.
I did.
Does it work that way if we were to contact the corporate office and say,
Not-
hey,
When I was there, no. The corporate office would need to be who you would go through. There would be the Abbott Fund at Abbott,
okay,
which is their, actually, Abbott had both the Abbott Fund and the
Foundation.
Clara Abbott Foundation, which were their charitable organizations. So the main corporate office wasn't directly involved, other
Okay.
than,
But isn't that where
Signing
you got
checks.
money from Abbott? That's not where you got people from Abbott.
well, you wouldn't get people from Abbott regardless. You would get people who worked at Abbott and happened to be interested in what you're doing.
Right.
But you wouldn't go to Abbott to ask for people, you would go to the people and have them get approval. The direction's the opposite. And actually, the company I work for now has a program that encourages its employees to be involved in local boards of this type, and even throws money at any organization that will appoint one of our staff members to such a board.
So how do you get from where we are at now?
So can they throw
To
money at
get
us? You're on this
interested
board.
Yeah, we're not a 503C.
Yeah,
so
he's talking
no.
about fundraising.
The friends
boards.
are.
But I'm not on the Friends board, I'm on our
So how do you
library
get
board.
from where we are now to getting the people that they're throwing money at?
You need to find the people is the problem.
Well, and
This-
how-
this is
how
the-
do you
This
do
is the
that?
wall we've run into.
Yeah, how do you do that?
And there is no easy way to get there. You need to get one or two people who'll sign on to start with so you can get the ball rolling. As soon as you get your first few people committed, and you make this something that people want to be part of, and the best place to work for something like that is not the local corporations, it's things like Gurney Exchange or the Rotary, and connections with those groups, to get their members interested in what we're doing. Because those are usually your people that you go to for this sort of thing.
I think you also need like a type of legacy project for them. And it was a nice full circle moment when some very wealthy clients of mine, they give money in a big way to a youth orchestra at Ravinia. Ravinia goes to schools in underserved areas like Waukegan. Specifically, my sister's students are part of this program. And then when I see it on their tax return come up as a donation, $40,000 apiece, I was able to tell them that but they wanted a legacy, and it was named after their family. But I'm sure Ravinia developed a program and then went looking for benefactors to name it for. And that will live on to honor their mother forever. But of course, they will also continue to give big. But I'm sure Ravinia started with something that people wanted to hang their hats on, their name on, or be associated with in some way. And they're passionate about it. Should have heard them when I told them, my sisters, how it's worked out for their class.
Yeah,
They give them the instruments, everything.
Of
course.
Isn't there, I mean, we have a quite a large industrial park here. Isn't there some kind of pride in Gurnee, why they located here? I know one has it, and that's that semiconductor company. Okay? He went to
Right.
high school here.
Right.
He set up the headquarters here. He wants to be in Gurnee. Why aren't we going to that type of, I mean, and all the corporations that are there in that industrial park? Where's the pride? Why are you here? We could use your help. Are we?
Yeah, I think, I think with ACON in particular, and I talked to Mayor Kavark about that, and she didn't think that was a promising lead for us for whatever reason. It doesn't mean we shouldn't try, but I know that he is really, my understanding is he's focused on when he wants to give back to the community, he wants to give back to the schools particularly. So I think, it has to be the capacity and the passion, right? It's, I think if you go to a company and they're not passionate about the mission of the library, or they're more passionate about the mission of the organization in your community, like reaching out to the kids in these underserved communities or whatnot. There's competition too. So it's a great thought. Of course, we thought of ACON if we could partner with them.
Yeah,
But
I mean, we are, if he's interested in education, we may be on the rim of that. We're not a school, but
Right.
we are in education.
We need
And I
to
would-
find
And I will say that this is obviously a public meeting, but what I understand with ACON is they're still a startup company. They're not Abbott yet. They may get to be a big company, but they're still really early growing stages, and I don't think they have the capacity as a company right now to go and invest in the community because they're still in the startup phase. They're still trying
Yeah, I
to.
know.
Yeah, so that's one of those things that we're optimistic that that'll be a great company someday. But it's developing technology.
He's gonna grow fast. What he's offering is very much needed.
I hope so.
No,
So what are
it
the
is.
next steps you were talking about?
I like George's idea about Rotary. Have you approached Rotary Club at all, or gone to
Yeah,
a meeting?
I have not.
Because those are the business leaders. They've got a huge network, and that might be worth.
The Rotary, the Chamber of Commerce, the Exchange Club, those three groups
Yeah,
are probably
yeah.
our three biggest.
If we get on the agenda maybe and just give a little.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could certainly talk more to individual members one-on-one, but, I think, the mission of Rotary is raising funds to give to some of these smaller nonprofits, of Exchange Club. So I don't know if there's a natural connection with Exchange Club. There are probably some members of Exchange Club I could reach out to individually, but.
Yeah.
They were huge on reading.
Yeah, and I don't know, my understanding of Rotary is, I don't know that it's necessarily as I think this is kind of a trend across the country, essentially as large and as influential as it used to be. That's my understanding, although
Well, I understand,
I'll
I'm
look
not
into it.
saying reach out to the Rotary Club or reach out to the Exchange Club.
Right.
What I'm saying is, those are where you find your concentrations of civic-minded individuals.
True,
Who have the kind of connections you're looking for.
right.
So involvement in those groups can lead to exposure to people who might be more interested in this sort of opportunity. But this is not something where you can just walk up and say, hey, want to join a club?
Right,
Sign
right,
here.
of course not.
This is going to take a while.
Right.
Okay, any other thoughts? Are you ready to move
Well,
on?
I guess we'd rather do it right than hurry it.
Yeah.
So, I know Brian is really trying. So I think we just need to give him a longer leash and give him some time.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate understanding, but I want to get this thing going ASAP. But you're right. You can't just go on the first meeting with someone and say, hey, you want to be part of this? No, you got to cultivate those relationships. I understand that. But. And also just as a reminder, please, if you are interested in helping with this, or if you have some leads, please don't hesitate to share with me, or don't be shy. Let me know. So,
Okay, new business, are we ready for that then? Okay, first one, new business A is the reimbursable, to approve the reimbursement. Anyone want to make a motion on that, please?
I believe the only part of this travel expense voucher that we need to address is the hotel bill, right? The rest of it,
it's within our guidelines, yeah,
Okay.
right, Nancy?
I move that the library reimburse Amy Meyer $831.93 for her hotel bill from April 2nd through April 5th.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Was the Innovative Users Group Conference beneficial to the library and furthering in our mission?
Yeah, apparently we get a lot out of this
Very good.
conference, so.
This is the same Amy who helped with the internal website?
It's
Is it-
No, that's Amy Blanchard.
Oh, this is the Amy with the dark hair.
She's
Yes.
dark green.
Is there any kind of surcharge for her using her card?
No, I don't think so. I think, Bob, my understanding is as long as she, gets reimbursed and pays her bill, within the allotted time frame, she's fine. There's no surcharge.
I'm not big on money, I fix things, so
Okay.
wife takes care of the credit cards.
Okay, do we need a roll call for this?
We do need a roll
We
call
do.
per the.
All right, let's have a roll call then.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Nimi,
Aye.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Deal,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, policy 3013, page 49.
I move that policy 3013, library card, be approved as presented.
I'll second that. Discussion?
Do we need to be a citizen of the United States to hold a library card?
No. You need to be a resident of the community.
You can be an illegal resident and still hold a
You
card.
can be a homeless resident and still hold a card.
Wow. Okay.
Homeless would be a little more difficult because you.
It's difficult to
have-
prove, but it's,
Yeah, well, you'd have to have an address. Normally, if
Correct.
you're homeless, you don't have an address exactly.
makes it harder. But
As long as they come up with their identification.
as long as they can come up with appropriate identification that shows that the bridge they live under is in our district. They can.
All right, any other thoughts?
Something wrong.
It really isn't. That's what we're here for.
No, because that bridge in our district, to use yours, there's no guarantee that the material comes back. It could be left under the bridge while he finds a warmer bridge.
We haven't had a big problem with
I
that.
don't think that's ever been a problem, and if it is, we can address it by policy for lost
Don't
materials.
understand. Okay.
Okay, let's have a roll call.
Nimi,
Aye.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Deal,
Nay.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it.
Okay, thank you. And items for May Committee of the Whole or May meeting? Nothing?
Well, we discussed committee of the whole at the last committee of
Right.
the whole.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, wow. Public forum? Yeah, go ahead.
Could, for the next agenda, you put on staff closure for,
I got it.
you got it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Sorry.
That's okay.
Anything else? Okay, anyone have any announcements?
Actually, can I
Yeah,
put
please.
something on that?
Uh-huh.
because I know we'll have several of our members that are departing and new members coming in. Can we have some recognition of those who have served on our board?
I wrote resolutions, I don't know, a couple months ago. So they'll be done
Yeah,
by,
we've already addressed.
we're on it.
And we might even have cake between the two halves of the meeting. That has been known to happen before.
I'm writing that down.
Cake.
You be careful, you might get cookies instead.
Okay.
You have to have cake now, though. Someone said cake.
And bingo in the books, Friday, the 28th.
Did you do public forum? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Craft swap is this coming Saturday.
Oh, I should have put that.
yeah. Drop off your stuff from 1 to 6. I have a lot of stuff.
On Friday.
Yeah, if you have anything that you want to get out of the house,
Yeah.
it's crafty. It'll go, and it's quite the
Like Bob,
the
if you're,
scene.
giving up quilting and you want to take up,
Crochet.
needlepoint, this is your event.
It would be. Well, there's no doubt about that.
You never know what you can find. There's all kinds of yarn and sparkly things.
Joanne Fabrics, let's see, Michaels. Where else does she go?
Anyone else have any announcements they want to make? All right, anyone want to move to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. Thank you.